Hi, Kelly. How you doing? Great written description here. This really defines your concept very well as your some of the decisions that you've made. And I think it's really super important at this point in the class to mention that. And I've mentioned this several times in critiques that came before yours. And you'll hear me say this a lot between now and the end of the class. But one of the main objectives of this class, as far as I can see, is some of the intangible learning that goes on while completing an assignment like this. And I think it's obvious, and so many students have mentioning things like, okay, I had to reconsider the placement of the image, and the logo didn't fit, and I had to do this, and I had to make this change. And that is so cool because it's pointing directly at learning and the learning process, specifically some of the intangibles associated with images and type and other elements that are being used in different design aspects. In this particular instance, the difference between using an image for a magazine ad and a web banner ad at many times is considerably different. And so to mention those differences and that you're conscious of those differences really points to the learning process. So I was super pleased to read that. Thank you. Let's go ahead and jump to your banner. Where did it go? Oh, here it is. Okay. And I just kind of want to bring that window down a little bit so it fits in the window. This is gorgeous work. I really do. I think it's gorgeous. The image is fantastic. The way that you've treated this image, the cropping is very, very good. You're telling a story visually, and the way that you've cropped this doesn't impede the effectiveness of that story at all. I think it's really good. The fact that you had to include the masked image, I think that's also a good choice to screen back the opacity on that, as not to compete too much with the image. I think it's still a little too large. I would reduce the size of that. And that's up to you. I mean, that's a judgment call. Right now, I think it might be just a little bit too large on the left-hand side of that composition. I think it's still drawing quite a bit of visual weight. So try to work with scale on that. Okay, so the headline and the subhead, I would not animate. I would leave those static and I would align those. So you have treat mom, and then that stays. And then right over here, left align, I would indent that a little bit too, maybe to about where the logo begins. So treat mom this Mother's Day, going to reduce the size of that type. I think it's pretty large in comparison to the size and the relationship to the size of the whole picture plate itself. I think that spatial relationship indicates a little discomfort in the fact that that type is so big. Okay, so reduce the size of that type, align it. Okay, keep the headline static. Take this headline right here, tuck it right underneath the T, get some good alignment, leave that static too. That's pretty important information. That's the crux of the ad for the whole month of May. Mom, stay free. That's enough to make somebody click, right? So we definitely want to keep that information visible at all times. Then you can go and animate in the call to action. And that, I think, is going to really, really work well. Right now, you want that headline and that subhead information visible at all times because it is such a pertinent part of the ad itself. Okay, so those would be my recommendations. If you have fantastic work, by the way. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to let me know. I'll be glad to address anything that comes up. Thank you.